Hello, beautiful humans, gorgeous people. Welcome, welcome. So, this is Cosmic Download, your weekly oracle guidance. And today's reading is going to take you from the Monday the 8th all the way through to Sunday the 14th of June. Saying June just feels really odd already. Oh, gosh, we're fast approaching halfway through the Gregorian calendar. We're approaching summer solstice. Where's the time gone? I don't know. I picked up this beautiful little feather on my walk yesterday, and it was just here, and I feel the need to just put it on here as I set my intention. Please deliver us guidance that helps us to connect with our deeper selves, with our inner knowing, to help us to move through life with greater ease and grace, with less resistance, and be more in the flow that already exists when we stop pushing and trying and really start aligning with what is right for us. Let's see what it says. Oh, nice and clear. We had this a few weeks ago. I'm sure we did. I think we did. Here we go. Stars in the sky, limitless possibilities. Oh, I love that. I'll take another look at that. So if you want to pause the video here or the audio here and feel into those words, feel into this picture, then please do so. Otherwise, stay with me. Let's see what the guidance notes say. Stars in the sky, limitless possibility, embracing opportunity. When you look up into the velvety dark blanket of the night sky covering the vast expanse of space, can you count all the stars twinkling above? Can you imagine that you are only glimpsing a teeny sliver of what is actually there? This is the domain of limitless possibility, of the never-ending sea of potential that you yourself are made of and have now at your disposal. Your life right now is alive with possibility and needs your clear focus to hone in on what avenue of exploration most calls to you. It's time to choose and not be distracted by the sheer magnitude of what may be. Be here now. Gather your thoughts and your most cherished dreams. Focus on the brightest star in your never-ending sky and take small steps, small movements towards calling this glittering potential into reality. If you can imagine this and hold that vision, you will summon all the celestial helpers and guides to aid you in bringing it into fruition. Keep your focus on the essence of potential rather than the form of it. The universe has its own ideas of how best to serve you and all of us at the same time. Trust this as fact, rather than theory, and you ought not to act surprised when your dreams come true, for they surely will, exactly how you need them to. So if you want to pause here, go back, listen to those words again, then do that. Otherwise, stay tuned to hear what my interpretation of that guidance is this week. Now, if you're new here, I share my reflections, and often they are embedded in what's personal to me. So different things might stand out for you to what I might say. But if you're also new to using oracle guides, then it can be helpful to see the kind of wisdom that is in these words and how to use and work with the oracle cards. So I have been so absorbed in carving out all the delicious details of some of my up and coming in-person workshops, which I am so lit up by, right? And the last couple of days, I've just been like nonstop. Like I haven't been able to leave the desk in my office because I'm just so engrossed in fleshing that out and what that looks like. However, what then began to happen was I started to put I came out of this heart area and I went into the head and I went into my business head and my marketing head and, just the head, period. And that's not bad. Like sometimes we need to do that. But I also caught myself just on that tipping point of like, if I allow myself to keep going down this trail of thought, I'm going to start feeling overwhelmed. And I've been here before in the past. And then what happens is then I just freeze and then none of this will happen, or it won't happen with the right energy and therefore in quite the successful manner that I could otherwise create this. And so what it was, I started thinking about, okay, so I'm doing these in-person workshops. They're beautiful. I know they're going to be amazing. It's going to deliver such a great transformation and so much value to those women who feel called to join me on it. I have unwavering doubt about my offering. Then I was like, well, when these women experience the workshop and they love what I have to offer, they inevitably will ask me, what next, Dharmi? How else can I continue working with you, right? And so what can I offer them afterwards? I started thinking about, well, I could offer this and this will lead into that and they could come and work with me in this capacity and blah, blah, blah. But then that would mean this has to be in place. You can see what began to happen, right? Suddenly I went from one divine, simple, straightforward offering, which just felt so expansive and lights me up. Serving from that place, I know the universe will meet me, right? And it will be more and bigger than I can ever imagine. But then I moved from that energy into my head energy of like the business, the entrepreneur, like, so what's the funnel? How do they continue working with me? Blah, 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 blah. That means I need to create this. I don't know if I've got the energy or the time to create that right now. I'd love to offer that one day, but can I do it now? What will that mean? And I just started going in my head. And then I sort of like took a breath, sat back, and I was just like, stop, Dharmi, stop. You've been here before. And you're not looking at what's just in front of you anymore. Now you're looking at all of the other things. And I feel like that's the message it was giving to me personally. So I'm going to go back and read some of the words here, and hopefully that will make sense how the dots line up there. So, clear focus is needed to hone in on what avenue of exploration most calls to you now, without being distracted by the sheer magnitude of what may be. Right? Because then I won't end up doing any of it. Be here now. It's one of my favorite lines from one of my favorite songs from Beautiful Chorus as well. So be here now. So simple. Be present. What's in front of me right now? Right now, what's in front of me is this workshop that I'm about to deliver. Gather your thoughts, most cherished dreams. Focus on the brightest star. And everything else is the small steps moving me towards that. So I haven't lost sight of what the end goal is. I know what that is. And yes, this workshop is definitely a step, a small step, but in that right direction. And if I can just hold that vision, the celestial helpers and guides will aid me in bringing it into fruition. Keep focus on the essence of the potential rather than the form of it. And that's when I went into my head, I was going into the form of it. Like, what does that actually look like? How does this lead into this? And what will that mean? And what will that mean? And what's the next cog in the piece and here and, like of the machine? And that's not wrong. It's not wrong. You do, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, I do need to be thinking about all of those things. Like, I can't ignore them. They are very masculine. And I know this is not the time for me to be doing that. Not just yet. Maybe in a few weeks, maybe in a few months, maybe come autumn when my daughter's back in school and I have got so much more time and energy available to pour into my business. I know that time will come, but it isn't now. The universe has its own ideas of how best to serve you and all of us at the same time. Trust this as fact rather than theory. So trusting in this particular example of my offering that, yeah, the women that are called to me, who are magnetized to me and my work, the workshops and the various workshops that I have on offer over the summer months is going to be enough and what they need. And trusting that when they are ready to work deeper with me, I will also be ready to offer them something. Yeah, because it really that sort of push and that need was like, I don't want to leave them hanging. They want that next step. They want that next stage of how to keep transforming themselves. And they're choosing to work with me. But if I don't have something else to offer them, then I'm leaving them sort of like abandoning them almost. So it wasn't coming from a place of like growing the business necessarily, which of course is part of it, but it was really genuinely coming from a place of service. But if I'm not able to invest myself fully, energetically, time, attention, all of those things, then the quality of what I then end up giving is, I'd rather not deliver anything additional than deliver something that's only got half of my essence in it. I wouldn't do that anyway, but yeah, so trusting that the universe will serve me and everybody just the way that we need. And not to be surprised when my dreams do come true, for they surely will, exactly how I need them to. Not how I want them to, how I need them to. So this week's reflections really are so personal. Maybe you resonate with that in what's going on for you in your life at the moment, or perhaps something different stood out for you. If you need to go back, listen to it, by all means do so. But I trust that this has served me and has served you equally, just as the guidance says so. So here is the card again. Stars in the sky. What a beautiful image. Limitless possibility. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome week.